Aquarius, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It's an energy reading. So it doesn't even just apply to this week, though a new video comes out every single week. And if you want to get notified as soon as the next message comes out, please remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. Aquarius content comes out every single Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I always create an extended reading for those of you who want a deeper, more personal message. That link is in the description box below, and I will also pin it to the top of the comment section. But you have the choice of joining the Unbound membership to this channel, and then you will get unlimited access to all of the extended readings for the life of your membership, and you won't ever have to worry about those links. So please do. And then I have a second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation, which I invite you to. I'll attach the link above. That's where I do daily tarot card readings, and I provide general messages, and we have a live chat, and I'd love for you to join over there too. Okay, so what's happening this week in astrology is, listen, you've been in a crunch for a while. Uranus is square to Saturn, and they're both your ruling dignitaries. I mean, Saturn is your traditional ruler, Uranus is your new modern ruler. Either way, they're challenging. And what is the challenge? It's growth. This is almost like the rub between, like, you know, between sort of aging cycles. You know, when you go from a young adult to an adult, or when you go from a teenager to a young adult, or when you go from an adult to somebody who's middle-aged. This is like the grind between, like, what I don't want to let go of and what I'm resisting, and what I think is ahead of me because I have the wrong impression of it usually, and not thinking of really the real possibilities and all that I could do with the newness, and yet realizing that I don't have to get rid of everything that's old, and that I don't have to get rid of those things about me that are actually working. In fact, the best way to let go of the past is to learn from it, because then you've actually grown from it, and you've be sort of metamorphosized from it. So you can't let a lesson go. The lesson becomes a part of you. You allow your experiences to transform you, so the best parts of your experience continue to come with you, right? And that's the best way to let the rest go. So that's sort of, and it's challenging, and that's what squares are. They're challenges, but they're really not to harm you. They're to actually improve you, and instead of just helping you through, they're there to help you level up. So you'll see all these, this challenge, the square is building steps to help you rise to the next level of yourself. So that's exactly what's happening, and it's actually wonderful, though it's challenging, and I'm sure that you've been, you know, feeling extra tired, feeling extra, you know, exhausted, maybe sleep more, definitely sleep more. I mean, give yourself what you need. This is a challenging time for you, and growth is hard. I don't know if any of you have raised children or babysat children or been around younger siblings, or, you know, I don't know. But either way, you know that when babies grow, they do what? They sleep. That's exactly what's probably happening. You may have been extra tired lately, very sleepy, because you're in a growth phase, and it is a tiring process mentally, physically, and emotionally. This week, well, okay, sometimes life stings. Yeah, it's irritating. I call this my gadfly card. It's not, it's a wasp. Sometimes life stings. And if you've ever been stung by a wasp, it hurts. It's really painful, but it ain't gonna kill you. And I think that's what's important. Is there's these little, I call it the gadfly because it refers to Socrates' metaphor of the gadfly. He called himself a gadfly. He was the gadfly to his town, his city, niddling them, irritating them, to get them to do better and think harder. And so that's definitely what you're doing right now. And it could be you. You could be the one doing it. You could be the one frustrating the shit out of people right now, which is why people might be, like, you know, avoiding your phone calls or shooing you or shutting you up or trying to not let you talk. It's because you are irritating them. But don't take it as an insult. If it's happening to you and other people are doing it, try not to be so insulted by them, and instead try to realize this is actually trying to help me to learn something that I need to learn. And if people are acting irritated by you, don't take it personally. You know, you basically, you've struck a chord, and they're the ones that have to harmonize it. It's not really your job. It is, however, your job to respect people's boundaries, and if it's too much for somebody, listen, they can only meet you where they are. There's no reason for blame. There's no reason for accusations. There's no reason to get angry or take it personally. Somebody can only meet you where they are, and sometimes they just need time to digest it. So please be prepared with all those things happening in your life, that sometimes people just need a little bit more time to digest or go home and soothe their wounds, and they're not going to learn if you keep pressuring them. And so if that's happening to you and something you feel like this energy or somebody that's working, that this energy is working through, is pressuring you too much, take a fucking break from them. Do not feel bad, do not feel guilty, and don't take it personally when somebody needs that break from you. I feel like you need sleep to grow. You know, you need that break in order to be able to expand. You can't be on all the time. Ironically, we have this card, which is dreams. This is Neptunian energy, it's Pisces energy, and there is always enough. Guys, there's always enough time. I feel like you feel crunched right now, like because that's what square to Saturn does. It makes you feel like time is the ultimate challenge. That's what Saturn is. It's like I'm against the clock. I'm behind the clock. I'm behind the clock. I should have been here by now. I should have been there. I should have been there. You can only do where you are. You know, you can only grow from where you are. You can only do as much as you can do right now. So there is a sentiment of there is time, because Neptune, Pisces, that's the nebulous, right? That's the timeless zone. That's where Saturn has absolutely no sway. No, think about it. In dreams, what's time? In dreams, you can reverse time in less than a second. You can have things going on at the same time. You can have, you know, start out with thinking it's one person and then they morph into something else. I mean, there's no time. There's no time. So dreams are nebulous. You can speak to somebody you've never met before. You can speak to somebody who's long gone. Dreams is where time has no meaning, right? So you have time, though you don't think you do, but you do. And so getting rest and allowing yourself to sleep more is particularly necessary. I think emotions in particular are really starting to get on your nerves, but that's because they're your pressure point. They're what is your biggest challenge in life, and what you will have to grow from is these feelings that you have inside of you, learning about self-acceptance, about acceptance of others, learning about compassion, learning about empathy, learning about strength and acceptance. All of those things are what the universe is putting you through to try to teach you now. So there is a lot of emotions that are probably irritating the crap out of you. Something happens a little bit later this week, through the week, just past the weekend. And that is what? Well, Saturn becomes opposite Venus. Saturn is opposite the sun right now, which is, you're probably taking a lot of stuff personally, especially with stuff that you create, feeling like it's always being judged, it's not getting anywhere. The sun will move on. As it slips into Virgo, it'll actually, a lot of stuff will start working in that area again. But then Venus moves into that same pressure point. It's like everybody's going through this pressure point. It's like that scene from Harry Potter where they were in Hogwarts and you would go through this waterfall and the true you would be revealed. All spells were washed away. That's kind of what it is. And so there's this pressure point that Venus is under now, and it's opposite Saturn, which is going to impact you, and then it's also square to Uranus. So it's where the sun used to be, she's now unfortunately falling into. And she's in Leo, so she's very prideful and diva-esque, and that's exactly where the pressure points want to give us. How has your pride and your exaggerated expectations and your arrogance, how has that actually devalued you or kept you from seeing a real value when something was right in front of you and maybe it just didn't fit your ego, or it didn't pay enough attention to you, or maybe you're valuing the wrong things, right? When it comes to never really being able to pick good people or pick good business deals, you're valuing the wrong things. You're valuing what gives you attention or makes you feel important, instead of what's consistent, what's loyal to you, what makes sense, what's logical, what's responsible. all of those things are a lot less glamorous. So you're going to be under a lot of stress. You're going to be under a lot of stress from that, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. It's going to be challenging, but I know that you will get through it and you'll be stronger from it. Once again, allow yourself breaks, allow yourself cat naps, allow yourself a longer period to sleep. Even if you're just resting in bed, breathing and not completely sleeping, as long as you're in a state of relaxation. That's really important. This is a healing time for you. From all the aches, from all the pains, from all the sadness, just all of those things, there's healing because Neptune can be a very healing energy. It's one of the positive, it's one of the upsides of it. It can be very healing through faith, healing through God, healing through connectivity, healing through release and letting go of being so irritated, right? It's almost like you get so irritated, you get to a point where you can't be irritated anymore, and then healing can start. Well, this is really, really good. But I do feel that you are feeling feelings on a more personal note. You're feeling some feelings. Oh, I also wanted to say, because Venus rules finances, so it's not necessarily just romantic things, that right, like challenges, romantic challenges, or not having enough self-esteem, or why don't you have enough self-esteem. It's also about money. So in other words, you could be having a lot of financial challenges right now, to make you work through those things that you need to improve in order to level up. It reminded me of a scene from that movie. It was Jack Nicholson was in it. Something's Gotta Give. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's a really fun movie. Go see it if you haven't seen it. But there's this scene in it toward the end where he actually goes back and talks to all of his exes. It's not to get the ex back. And some of them weren't even women that were exes. They were just women that he hooked up with and used for a while. And he does it owning and accepting the full responsibility, because most of the women slammed the door in his face. But some women started to talk to him. And he, instead of being like, oh, come on, you crazy bitch, he actually listened and accepted their pain and accepted their story. And as he spoke to more and more women, he realized this is a pattern. I've done this to many people. I've made many people feel this way. And that's when he started to learn and to get educated and to grow. And that's what I feel might happen to you, because you have that square, Uranus square Venus, Saturn opposed Venus. Is almost like to teach you. You're going to be taken back, the ghosts of romances past, not to punish you or torture you, but it's almost like you're asking for this experience, since you are that Uranian energy and you are that Saturnian energy. You're looking for wisdom in mistakes that you've made by finally listening to people that maybe at one time you hated, maybe at one time you thought you'd never talk to them again, but you're actually open now to like if they come back in your life, if they pop back in your life, listen to them, talk to them, like hear them out without question and without judgment, and see if you don't see a pattern, because there's going to be some leveling up there because of the lessons you'll learn when you listen where you haven't listened before. So we have sweet results await. This is Leo energy. It's still Leo season, and this means work. And for what you worked on and what you've been working on and what you allow, the hardship that you work through, it's gonna yield some beautiful results. A sweetness that I don't think you've ever tasted before, open to infinite possibility. This is yourself, finding the sweetness in your own life, but also what you've worked on, what you've dedicated yourself to. Remember, it's the busy bee that gets the honey, okay? It's what you have worked on, what you've dedicated yourself to, that is going to make your dreams come true. Whatever that means to you, there's destiny knocking right now, and you're gonna see it's gonna feel like a grind, but see, for those of you who made it past like should I listen to more than 9 minutes? Yeah, listen to the whole fucking reading, because it has a pace, right? You have to stick with it to get the full message, to get the full lesson, to be ready to graduate, get the diploma, and level the fuck up. And that's really what you're doing. You've got a lot of stick-to-itiveness, right? Even when things are irritating you, you have faith enough to stick with it, and it's really going to pay off. This is Saturnian energy. Spirit has your back. There must be a sense in you this week, Aquarius, that you are absolutely positively not alone. That you are being guided, and even though, because this is a Capricornian energy, even though it's been difficult, even though it's been tough, even though there's been red tape, there's been paperwork you didn't expect, all that shit, it's worth it in the end. I get so hot. Thank you so much for your patience. So it is definitely worth it in the end. Yeah, let's go. I want to get into some other decks. Hold on. What's this moon card? Aquarius. The energy, what did I say? The energy is gaining momentum. Conclusions are within reach. Wow. Full moon eclipse. And your dreams need a practical plan. It's almost like this is the week where everything goes wrong before everything goes right. You know, it's the week where you're working out all the kinks, and there's so many kinks, you want to just throw everything away. But as you work through each kink, you not only learn by figuring out each of those problems, you also grow by realizing, hey, I'm stronger than I fucking thought. I was looking at this week when I started out like, oh my God, there's no way I could ever do this. There's no way I'll ever fight. But by going step by step and taking challenge by challenge, not only did you get through it, you really, really did end up at something better. Your dreams need a practical plan, and that's kind of what this is. It's almost like irritatingly enough, yes. And how do you manifest dreams into reality? Well, it's a hard, long, tedious process that is nothing like dreams at all, because reality is slowed down energy. Dreams, you don't have to, there's no pace at all. You can go 1,000 different directions at the same time. So to actually manifest something into physical reality, and that's what reality is. Reality is what you can measure with the 5 senses. That's what, and maybe with some math, right? That's what reality is. But there is definitely realms outside of reality. And how do you take those conceptual realms, those dreams, those aspirations, and put them into reality? Well, it takes a lot of tenacity. It takes a lot of irritation. And this is like, oh my God, crunch time. Like, I'm throwing everything together. Why does everything feel so fucking difficult right now? I'm supposed to be getting ready for this big party, or I'm supposed to be getting ready. Everything was supposed to work out, blah, 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 blah. It never goes the way you fucking plan. Improvise. Stop planning. Set your goals. Accept that the universe already has it there. It's already sending it to you. And then improvise your way to it. You cannot plan in life, Aquarius. People plan, God laughs. You cannot make plans. You set your goals, you set your intentions, and you connect with the reality that you desire. And then you improvise the fuck out of getting there. Okay? That's what you got to do. That's how life works. Conclusions are within reach. You're going to get the answers, and the energy is gaining momentum, so you can feel something is building. That's your confirmation. Something is building, and you're going to get the answers that you desire. But you know what? This is the secret sauce to taking what is just in dreamland, woohoo, and turning it into something that actually tangibly exists. So it could be, because this is Taurus energy, and because there's an opposition to to Venus, and a square to Venus this week, how are you going to pay for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be the question that is like really bugging the shit out of you right now. Or there's always more expenses. You thought you had something covered, and now there's more expenses. And these are the kind of challenges that you're going to be facing this week that are going to try to shut you down. I do not believe they are going to shut you down, but they're going to try to shut you down. But they're also going to teach you, okay, you know what? Now I know. See, God is teaching you so much this week that you're going to need to succeed for the future. So that you can remember back to this moment and be like, okay, I know I got this. This is what I learned when I went through it then. And they're preparing you. So take this as a confirmation. Yes, your dreams, they're already yours. Take that as this confirmation, but also realize that in reality, in linear existence, it may not be here yet. So you got to keep working. And this is your energy. Feeling like a stranger in a strange land. Feeling maybe like alien. Feeling like you don't fit in. Also recognizing that you're rocketing off and you're going to find yourself in a place that is alien to you, foreign to you, where you are the outsider. That means you've leveled up. You have with you all the experiences that you earned that got you to this level. But in front of you is a whole new fucking set of challenges. It's a whole new world that you haven't been to yet. You haven't lost anything. You've leveled up. Please do follow me to the extended. That link is down below, Aquarius. I hope to see you there.